Hello and welcome to another royally rich lifestyle show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And with me, Helena Chard. And we have a couple of great guests with us today, City of London Ambassador Scott Longman and Professor Sam Lingham. Let's roll the titles.
Well, we have a packed show for you today, but first of all, as always, I always like to thank Helena Chard from ALB UK TV. I'd like to thank Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck from USA Global TV and Radio, and also from Londres TV as well, who are putting out the shows for us. So Helena, I know you've got some great news. Can I just add one thing that you were saying as well, is that during the show today, we've also got a clip from Shahid Karim, who has talked about what it is like for a Palestinian now to be watching the process, the peace process. But Helena, you've got great royal news.
I have. I can't wait to see Shahad's piece. But royal news. So we have a little bit of a disgruntled King Charles, as apparently Queen Camilla is wanting something extra in the palace. This is Buckingham Palace renovations. Now, as we know, it's something like £369 million renovation, but a lot of that's to do with wiring and various things. But 775 rooms within the palace, but they don't have a library. Now, apparently the library was given to the British Museum in 1823 by King George IV. So I get it in one sense, because obviously books, libraries, Camilla, go together. And I think one should be put back. If there's that much being spent, why not go for it? It needs lots of books. And also moving on, Queen Camilla celebrated last night 100 years celebration for the Book Trust charity, apologies. So this was a magical event at Clarence House, and she even met Peter Rabbit, and there were lots of people giving readings. Queen Camilla is the patron of this book trust, and this trust has been helping people all those years, helping families, children experience the transformational benefits of reading in a nutshell. So it was a glamorous, magical evening had by all. Now this is something, Ian, I want to ask you, because it is National Dessert Day today, and I have to say we have been munching quite a lot of sweets. King Charles is a fan of a certain sweet treat, and that is, actually, what do you think it is?
I have no idea. Knowing Charles, it's probably rotten bananas, because
no, that's Princess Anne.
He seems to he never seems to want to eat bananas until they are brown.
That's Princess Anne. That's a family thing. Some people love that. I get it. I'm not a fan, but anyway, no, he loves shortbread. So Walker's shortbread. Obviously that's Scottish, made in Scotland. He has them made for him. I think when he was younger at Gordonston, I think he used to be able to smell them being made as well, which I think was quite interesting. But there you go. What's your favourite?
What's my favourite pudding? I think...
Or biscuit, or anything sweet.
I think these days, because I'm trying to keep away from sugar more than anything, but I quite like something that's got a lemon flavour to it. So something like lemon drizzle cake is, I think, my sort of favourite these days.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous. I don't have a special one, I have to say, but anything that goes with a lovely cup of coffee does me grand. Moving on. So Prince and Princess of Wales, they suddenly did a surprise visit. So it was an unannounced trip to Northern Ireland, and they did some special engagements. They looked like they were having a fantastic time, I have to say. They were looking at innovative organisations, showcasing growth and investment in rural areas. So we saw a few fun things. I mean, firstly, they joined the next generation of firefighters, and you saw them joining in with the training exercises, and Princess Catherine was wanting to do a race through the streets and put the siren on. That didn't quite happen, but there was lots happening, lots of joking and fun things. I mean, for me, I think the most exciting thing was from field to fibre to fabric. And they were on a farm, Malon Farm, and the owners, Helen and Charlie, in County Tyrone, they're basically bringing back flax to make linen. So that it's the linen, flax to linen heritage, which is really quite exciting because it's a new sustainable local chain, and it's celebrating the whole creativity, collaboration. It's good for the environment. But when you actually see it, because you see the Princess of Wales, you know, bashing the flax, it's a key stage in the linen production where you're separating the woody stalk from the fibres. And it's incredible. I just think it's absolutely amazing. And to think that you've got all of that industry back again. And there's no waste at all with the flax. So I applaud that completely. And also she was wearing a great coat that she wore in 2022. So it's always good to see her reuse her coats and all her clothes. And also they basically, William and Kate's, although that was a joint trip, they have been doing a few solo appearances championing their causes that are close to their hearts. And I'll begin by Princess Catherine, who visited Home Start in Oxford. This was to learn about the organisation's work, supporting parents who are sort of struggling as they're juggling work, finances, and various things. It's sort of they're trying to create a loving home for their children. So she found out what this Home Start offers in Oxford. It provides practical and emotional support. But the most exciting thing, when she was crouching down, she was playing with the children. She's great at that. And they were pretending to inject her with a syringe, and they were making cakes, and she had flour all over her. But I noticed, which was really, really great, and it's having a passion for fashion, it was lovely to see her wearing Victoria Beckham's suit, a trouser suit in willow colour. And obviously that day was Victoria Beckham's new documentary that's come out that I have to say is fabulous. If anyone wants to see, I think it's a really glowing, fun report. Ian, if you want to step in, because I know that you've seen it. It was
it was very good. I was intrigued more than anything by how well mannered she was. Now, I don't know why I would say that, because she's never been stated that she was rude or anything like that at all, but her manners were impeccable. She was during the fashion shows, and especially when it started raining and there were all the things going against her, she still kept calm. David was by her side holding her hand. And it still looked like, I don't know how long they've been married now, but it still looked like an ongoing love affair between the two of them. So that was very touching. But I was overly impressed as well by how she treated people, and that she always said good morning to people, gave people a hug. And I think, what a wonderful person to be around.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. It was a really... It was wonderful to see, and she just very caring, cared for everyone around her, and it's that communication is key, because if you see the whole way through they're talking, they're bouncing off each other, her and Beckham, and that is so important, and actually is key to something that Princess Catherine has been doing recently. But I just want to say, I think it was just stunning, and it was obviously meant to be. It's a real statement that she wore Victoria Beckham's willow green suit on that day, championing her fashion, which is wonderful. But so Princess Catherine earlier that day, in fact, had released an essay Now, this essay highlights the importance of creating a firm foundation for youngsters, helping them develop strong social and emotional skills. And she's been talking about the excessive screen time and how it's like an epidemic of disconnection, so that there's no communication, and it's something that really does disrupt family life. Now, she's written this with a co-author, Professor Robert Waldinger from Harvard Medical School. And the crux of it is that the power of human connection is, in this distractive world, it's key, absolute key, and it's the best legacy that we can pass on to our children. I actually think it's the best thing that everyone should do it. I think adults too, and Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, as we mentioned, were very, very good at that. So that was interesting to see. Meantime, Prince William made a rare joint appearance with his father, and that was at the Natural History Museum. I love that Natural History Museum, but it was a reception that was ahead of COP30 climate change summit next month. And it was quite unusual in a way that they were together, because you don't normally see them at events, but obviously they've got they've got a keen interest.
Talking to each other.
No, of course they are. But it was almost like King Charles was passing over this legacy onto Prince William. I don't know if it's fair to say, but I do know that Prince William is going to be attending the conference in Belém, Brazil, during his trip to the Earthshot Prize. So that's coming up soon, just before Rio de Janeiro. So all exciting there. And also something really important, because we had World Mental Health Day as well. And on that day, Prince William, we saw a film that was brought out, and you actually saw him fighting back the tears, which it was to do with suicide, the impact of suicide, and needing more support for those at risk. It was like turning tragedy into a purpose. Really good to see Prince William just being authentic and not being worried about being himself. And he was having a chat with campaigner Rhiannon Mannings, whose 1-year-old son George unfortunately passed away at aged 1. 5 days later, her partner Paul committed suicide. So again, he was talking to so many people involved in suicide prevention, and has now come up with, at the help of the Royal Foundation, the National Suicide Prevention Network, where he's given a tranche of money. Lots of organisations have come together. And he's promoting, it's just good to talk, He wasn't hiding away in any way at all. He took a moment to compose himself, and really vulnerability is strength, and that's really what came out. And just a few key statistics. So according to the NHS, suicide is the biggest killer of people under the age of 35, and the biggest killer of men under 50, and I think children as well from 10 to 19. So important that we do talk about it. And in fact, it should be discussed every day, but having one key day is always a good thing. Also, the Hub of Hope, something, if anybody ever wanted to contact anybody, I didn't know what to do, the hubofhope.co.uk is a directory with the full amount of mental health support. So that's a good website. And moving on to something completely bonkers, I feel, but it's not bonkers. It's, in fact, a sport. So we have to prepare ourselves, because we, at the Royal Albert Hall, will be stepping into a world of ancient rituals, extraordinary strength, and rich tradition. And I know it's something that maybe Ian Turner may partake in.
We're watching them actually outside Buckingham Palace, where they had a photo called the sumo wrestlers.
It's incredible. I mean, they do look stunning, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so we've spotted enjoying all the tourist sites as well. So they're having lots of things. Now, the thing about it is, it's not been here for 34 years. So now the Royal Albert Hall are putting it on. They've had to do things like reinforce the toilets. I mean, goodness me, take out extra insurance as well, because apparently people could get squashed. So I'm not too sure whether I want to go and see it, but it would be the people that are sort of nearby watching it. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a big event, isn't it, in all senses of the word. You know, with something like that. So you know, we'll see how. Who knows? This could become you know, a royal favourite. You know, we might see some of the royals not participating,
yes, not participating,
but especially supporting them as well.
Course.
Perhaps there may be a British sumo wrestlers team. Who knows? Apparently,
I think there's about 40 of them, and they total at least 6 tons. So that sounds an awful lot, doesn't it? Absolutely. So turning into the temple of sumo.
Yes.
And one of our guests coming up shortly, Scott Longman, I know that he's into wrestling, but definitely not sumo.
No, absolutely. Welcome back. And now we have Scott Longman, who is the City of London Ambassador Limited. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
More than welcome.
So, how would you define the city these days?
I think with Brexit and the pandemic and everything, a lot of the larger companies have moved out of the city, like a lot of the banks, etc. So I think it's structured really by mainly SMEs now. And I think that's going to be the case going forward for a while. Yes, you've got some of the bigger companies coming back in, like I think HSBC have just come back into the city, etc. But it's certainly changed over the 20 years that I've been involved in the City of London with regards to, you know, the business structure of the city. And one thing I want to do when I stand for election in the city is really represent those SMEs. The big companies can look after themselves, really, but I think the large majority of businesses now within the city is SMEs, and they, you know, all the red tape needs to be cut, and just representing them. And I think also attracting more families into the city. There's a lot of sort of art and cultural things that are happening now within the City of London. And that's one thing that I want to try and take further when I get elected as a Common Councillor. So yeah, it's very different than 20 years ago.
What are your thoughts on, I have a friend who actually was a barrister, is no longer in that area of work and is now doing her own business.
Yep.
And doing incredibly well within fashion. She was saying there are not that many women, especially in Parliament and business-wise. It's sort of depleted of women. Now, I don't know if that's fact. What are your thoughts?
The thing is, you've got to remember that the City of London is independently governed by the City of London Corporation. So apart from 2 people that sit in Parliament to represent the city has actually nothing really to do with Parliament. I would say the structure of the governance structure within the city is very equal now. You know, the next Lady Mayor now, they've just changed it after all these years, because the last lady that was Lord Mayor was Dame Fiona Woolf. Okay. And it's only up until now that they've always called them Lord Mayor, not Lady Mayor. But that's changed as from this year, that now any female Lord Mayors are now having the official title as Lady Mayor instead of Lord Mayor. The governance structure of common councillors and aldermen, I think there's a good equal amount of women. I think professionally, as in business people, you see a lot more sort of high-profile women now in the city working.
Okay.
So I think it's got a lot better than what it was. The city is starting to become more diverse of all communities, and that can only be a good thing, I think.
Absolutely, thank you.
I think just obviously just to define the city anyway, it historically has been really the financial centre for London.
Yeah.
It has always contained, you know, the shares people and the banks and so forth. How do you think, because obviously it became very critical at the time of Brexit, how do you think Brexit changed the city?
I think actually it made the city stronger, being that it's independent, which I think makes a large difference in how the city is run now after Brexit. I don't think Brexit really affected the structure of the city very much. Yes, obviously it hit businesses everywhere, you know, large and small, but the actual structure of the city, I don't think that it's been affected very much at all by Brexit. There's obviously been, like I said before, a lot of the larger companies, like larger banks and European companies that have sort of decided to move their head offices out of the city, although still having some presence within the city. And I'm hoping that they will come back. But this is why, at the moment, the structure is mainly SMEs, and that's what we have to support and concentrate on to make the city continue to thrive as the world financial hub.
You have had lots of career highlights, a little bird has told me. I am interested in liverymen,
Yes.
and I wondered if you could explain to us, our audience.
So one of the things that I do through my company is try and educate people about the unique structure of the city, because there's actually nowhere else like it in the world. So you've got the Freedom City of London, which is like an honorary citizenship of the square mile. Then when you become a freeman, then you can join what's called a livery company or a guild. Livery companies start as guilds and then goes through a process that then they officially get the royal warrant and become a livery company. There's currently 112 different livery companies within the City of London, and each livery company is related to a trade. So you've got, you know, blacksmiths, you've got educators, you've got solicitors, information technologists, constructors. So yeah, there's 112, and then you've got guilds like the Guild of Freemen. You've got the City of London branch of Royal Society St George, and I've been involved. Well, I've been a liveryman since 2008, and it's just been so, you know, where I am today, from sort of leaving school and working 5 years on a dairy farm in Somerset to coming to London and doing what I'm doing now, for me was, you know, it's a massive achievement, and it's something that I've worked hard and done myself. Yes, there's been a lot of barriers, but yeah, it's only made me stronger and more determined. But yeah, livery companies, they're not a company as such. It's an organisation that you join as a member, and the networking opportunities and the people that you meet within that specific profession of each livery company is the opportunities are endless, and you obviously get to go to some nice dinners and banquets. I enjoy all that. I love the whole pomp and ceremony, and it's all around the livery companies, because that is what makes the city, because of all the history of all the trades within the city. You've got so many little alleyways which are named after trades, and that's where the history of the livery companies actually comes from.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, there's historical alliances as well, isn't there? Because if I remember rightly, and I hope I got this right now, if a royal member comes into the City of London, they have to present the sword, their sword, to the Lord Mayor,
Yes.
first of all, before they're allowed into the square mile.
Yeah, so they actually have to ask permission to enter into the city, and with the sword, of course.
Yes.
And that's, that again, it goes back thousands of years to, the whole monarchy and
Absolutely.
all the history of the city. And it's something, what I love about the city is everything that's been there for thousands and thousands of years is still in place now.
Yes. So
All the rules, all the structure is still the same. I mean, even with the freedom of the City of London, when you become a freeman of the City of London, you have a little red book called the Priorities of Life, I think it is, and it's all in Old English.
Gosh.
And also with the frame, the certificate that you get, it's still done to this day on lamb parchment and handwritten by a calligrapher,
Gosh.
still to this day.
And I think as well, it has its own police force, doesn't it?
Yes,
The
so
City
we
of
have,
London,
we
and
have our own.
they are the most. It always used to make me smile because obviously I've got friends in the Metropolitan Police, and they were always very envious of the City of London Police because they were paid much more, and they had much better facilities.
We have our own police force. We have so freemen and liverymen have what's called common law. One thing I always use as a joke for the whole common law thing is if you're a freeman of the City of London, you can go out and get drunk and not get arrested. They'll just chuck you in the police car and take you home. So that's actually one of the common laws.
Is it?
But yeah, this is what I mean about the city being. You've got nowhere else like it in the world. Yes, you have your sort of financial hubs like Dubai and other areas, but as in the actual unique structure of how the city is run and the history of the city and everything, you've got nowhere else like it. And that's, the city is my biggest passion. And this is the whole reason why I'm standing for election. I continue doing what I'm doing by trying to educate people about not just the structure of the city, but the opportunities that are actually open to anyone that wants to take that up. And for me, standing for election, I want to serve the people and the businesses of the city.
So obviously, as the City of London ambassador, your vision is for the city to thrive?
Yeah, definitely. More diverse,
Yeah.
more sort of community and cultural based. It's getting there, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. You still have a lot of sort of strict structure within certain sort of livery companies and guilds, etc.
Yes.
But that's all changing. It's all becoming more modernised, but it's good that it it can modernise, but you still have the ancient structure there that will be there for still thousands of years.
Excellent. Sorry, time is coming against us this
No
afternoon,
problem.
as always. So, two things finally. So, what do you think the type of values you want to bring to SMEs,
Yep.
firstly, and then secondly, how can people get in contact with you?
So with the SMEs, again, you know, I suppose it's the same as anywhere really, not just the city, but especially in the city, I feel SMEs are underrepresented. I know through standing for previous by-elections within the city, when you go around and speak to small businesses, etc., there's so many things that still need to be done. You know, crime on streets and things like that, and just normal everyday things like pavements and this is what I love about the City of London elections, because actually they're non-party political. Yes, you have the odd candidate that will stand under the banner of a political party, but I've stood for political elections in the past, and I much prefer the City of London elections because you can represent what the voter wants without being tied to political policy.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, that's what I've always done, and that's what I will continue to do, because I want to be there to be contactable by all times when I become a common councillor and progress up through, which is what my aspirations are. To do whatever I can to make people's, not just businesses, but residents' lives better.
Is there actually an election date that you're working
That
towards?
I was supposed to stand for election last year, because that's the elections are every few years, but I was unwell, so I couldn't stand last year for the main elections. So it's a case now of me just waiting until a by-election comes up in the city, which you get quite a few, because a lot of these sort of common councillors are still of an older age, etc. So you get some of them that step down, or you know, whatever the situation. So you do tend to get quite a lot of by-elections come up. So I'm just waiting really for, you know, I'm constantly informed of all that by City Corporation Electoral Department. So I've done it 3 or 4 times before, so I know what I'm doing with regards to the campaigns, etc. But yeah, it's like I say, I just want to represent the city, the businesses
I
and
love
the
it. So
residents.
from dairy farmer to city councillor, it's fabulous.
Yeah, from dairy farmer to professional wrestler to...
Wow, that's something for next time. Gosh.
But yeah, and as far as being contacted, people can search for me. I'm on the Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. I also have a website, www.scott-longman.org.uk. And yeah, if people want to contact me through yourselves as well, then that's fine.
Bless you.
That's great.
Thank you so much for coming on this afternoon.
problem.
Yeah,
It's
fascinating,
fascinating,
isn't it? Really
this whole
fascinating.
history of
Thank
the
you.
City of London. So thank you so much.
No problem, thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Welcome back. So we thought we'd actually show some videos today of really what people think of London, and also a very famous place that's known as Cliveden, which has a lot of history, to say the least, to it as well.
I love London because it's multicultural.
Well, I think London is really almost like a time zone capital.
What I love about London is there's music everywhere.
A lot of nice building, architecture.
There's always something to do.
The weather is kind of grey, but entertainment is sunshine.
The city makes me feel happy.
It keeps me mentally occupied.
You can really do anything, any night of the week, you know, whatever you want. That, you know, you always want to come back for more.
Welcome back. So weren't they two great videos, and it just shows off Britain at its best. Now we're going to show a video by Shahid Karim, who is a Palestinian activist and poet, and is talking about how she feels watching the events that are going on this week in Palestine and in Israel.
Hi, I wanted to share how Palestinians are feeling about the handover yesterday. There's mix of emotions. Many are feeling relief and hope. Hope that will be a permanent change, freedom, or just a break from their suffering. But you know what? That hope is fragile. Alongside that, there is deep, deep pain and grief for the lives lost, homes destroyed, families torn apart, and years of trauma. The wounds run very deep. There's also uncertainty and fear that progress won't last, that promises will be broken, or that the cycle of violence will return. Many feel the moment is meaningful, but they don't believe it's enough. That we need real change, accountability, and the ability to live freely in our land. So yes, there is cautious joy, I would say. But there is also sorrow, anger, determination, and most of all, a cry. Don't forget us. Don't stop.
Hello and welcome back. And now we have Professor Sam Lingland, who is a consultant paediatrician. And my goodness me, what a story we're just about to hear about. This could be, for women especially, one of the most amazing advances in breast cancer. Welcome, Professor.
Good morning.
So, Professor, first of all, can you just describe what this process is and perhaps even hold up the brochure that you have that actually describes, yes, hold it up. So it actually describes what it is. Can you describe?
Okay, so breast cancer is very important. It needs to be diagnosed as early as possible. There is routine screening also happening, mammogram for example, yes. So what is really important is to have a good technology as a diagnostic tool. Here is a new machine from America. We had a conference at the RSM last year describing this coning machine. It is a CT technology of very, very low dose. The dose is equal to mammogram dose only. But the good is, the lady for screening or for any reason, if they have a lump or anything, you lie down in this box with the breast hanging through this, and in 7 seconds, an image will be taken of that breast. Then you lie on the other breast and take another 7 seconds, 2 7-second scanning only. Mm-hmm. That means the radiation is very, very low. Actually, the radiation of each is similar to really mammogram. In other words, here is a new technology coming from America. It is FDA approved, and it is available in many countries now. They have 42 of these machines in 9 countries, and we are bringing one to London soon. That to discuss this, we had a conference at the Royal Society of Medicine and explained to everyone how this machine is working, what the scientific rationale for this machine. Scientific rationale is it is a CT imaging, very low dose. Take a picture. The good thing is, mammogram is very painful, as you know. You have to squeeze the breast, and it takes time as well. Here you lie down, nothing is squeezed, one film. The X-ray technology is the same technology used in dental surgeries. You know, you go to a dentist, they take a picture. The same CT technology is used here to detect abnormalities in breast. Or it will tell if the breast is normal. The good thing about this technology is women with implants for various reasons and women who have dense breast have great difficulty in mammogram. They have to squeeze a lot and very difficult to see any abnormalities or significant abnormalities in mammogram. Here the technology is CT based, once a week.
Sounds like a great machine. So
That's
hopefully it will be with us soon. So Professor Sanglingham, why do you feel the rates of cancer is going up and up and up?
I think mainly related to environmental pollution on one side. Of course, smoking, drinking alcohol too much, more than 10, 12 ounces a week, for example. Obesity is growing all the time, and people are physically not active anymore. We used to, in Sri Lanka, when we were growing up, we were always out running and around. That doesn't happen. So even for adults, we don't walk too much, that type of thing. And of course, the immunity is being attacked by many things. We need to improve our immunity very well. To do that, we need more than 5 portions of fruits and vegetables, eat different color fruits, different pulses, different food. All that contribute to really increasing immunity. When we test blood, for example, we see a lot of people have very low vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is very important to boost immunity. So it is the immunity falling down, a lot of things are attacking, it's like a big fight going on. Environment, what we are doing and not doing, and now our immunity is down, so that's a huge fight. So what has happened then? The gene get altered. Environment triggers gene changes. Those gene changes, is called switching off genes, causes the damage and causes cancer in various parts of the body. That's the way it is happening now. So to prevent cancer, first thing, we need to have this preventive exercise, eat well, sleep well, and those type of things. And second thing really important is to detect cancers early. Screening is really very important. So for women, here we are talking about breast. For women should know their breast very well. In other words, as soon as you started having periods, menses, you start feeling your breast on a regular basis. Make sure you know, the lady should know her own breast and know your breast is what the message is. Keep on examining your breast while you are showering or having bath, and at various times of, you should know your breast. So you will know something has changed here. Especially if the change is in one side, it needs to be investigated. So that is early detection. Screening. Government is, in all parts of the world, there is a screening program for breast cancer as well. Mammogram is the screening, the age of screening changes on the whole after 35, 40 years. Women should start having their screening on a regular basis, depending on what's being found. So screening will detect early. Ladies examining their breast and finding something not right will also help with that. And early cancer detection is the key for success. The results of women who have cancer in the first stage is really very good today. We know the cause of that, we know how to treat it, and therefore what is really important to pick up cancers early. Of course, we discuss prevention of cancer. Yes, I mean, we try and prevent. If it comes, you must catch it early. Get on with it. Medicine is so advanced today, if the cancer is detected early, the outcome will be really very good. Then there are protocols.
Yeah. There's an intriguing history, isn't there? Because you were telling me recently you trained in Russia.
Yes.
But at that time they were telling you about, I think, the 1940s in Russia, and we're talking about a lie detector. Just talk us through how that has evolved into this.
Yes, you see, lie detectors were important during the First World War. So many countries were trying to find out how to detect who is telling lies and who is telling the truth, especially during the wartime. So people knew if you pass a small electric current, that's how the theory is, it will travel through the various parts of the body, and now when it's going through the head, it will show like this. When it's going through the arm, it will show like this. When it's going through the lungs, it will show like this. When it's going through the heart, it will show like this. It's the electric current we are talking about. So people, that's called the bioresonance technology. So we are going to bring bioresonance technology also into the same place in Harley Street along with this. So bioresonance. So you pass a small electric current, and if all is well, you have a clean bill of health, as it were, from the machine. And if it shows something, then of course we have to examine carefully, do the relevant blood test and whatever, do the imaging correctly, and get the diagnosis right. So we were talking about these type of technologies. We were developed for something else. Now in medicine, in fact, if we think about it, it's one of the first AI technology. Machine was learning how the current should go and what happens. In fact, this breast scan machine that just showed you, Corning, is an AI technology. It takes the pictures, and the AI will tell whether everything is okay. Of course, there's a radiologist who will also see. Now it is normal practice in breast, even mammogram. The first person who will see the mammogram, of course, is the person who is doing the scan, but AI. And then the pictures will be seen by a consultant or a person trained in mammography. So AI plus human. This was therefore developed. Ancient time, isn't it? It's only the name of changing words. That's what we were discussing, yes.
Yes, it's very interesting.
Goodness me. So People's Friendship University, is that a university or is that?
Yes, it is in Moscow.
Aha.
Yes.
Great name.
People from all over the world when they are on scholarships. I went from Sri Lanka on a scholarship to do medicine. I studied there Russian for 1 year, then 5 years of medicine. I qualified with honors. And it's very interesting. I did some research while I was a student, and it is still correct what I thought was happening. So it's interesting. Things do not change very much in medicine, but we have to incorporate all the new things all the time. That's the way medicine is going, and that's the way to go anyway, and have an open mind on whatever is coming.
How important is these new functions coming in now? Do you think that it's going to really bring down the number of fatalities with breast cancer using these types of
100%. I think we are nearly getting on there. The treatment for breast cancer is really very good today. You could get more than 98% of people with breast cancer cured with an inverted comma. Two things. Some people who have been cleared of breast cancer are having a second cancer. So that means that's something new. That means these type of machines, you come on a regular basis, even after breast cancer treatment, to make sure another cancer has not developed in the other breast, because for some reason, it must be genetic as well, some person that had breast cancer in one breast. Therefore, now it's been dealt with, now breast cancer comes in the other breast. So that needs to, now, we now know that. The breast cancer unit in part of the world knows that if you have one breast cancer dealt with in one side, keep watching to make sure breast cancer do not come in the other breast.
So do you think that, obviously using AI, more and more people are beginning to do that, and your machine, people will be living longer?
Yes.
Past 100, 200?
Yes. All of us going to live well beyond 100. I gave a talk in India only 2 months ago and won a prize. We said to the 500 doctors there, it was a doctors' conference, I told them, and I started off, we are all going to live well beyond 100 years, and let's think how we're going to do that. And one of the most important things was not only these preventive measures which we discussed today, really what is important is early detection. As a pediatrician, we are very much concerned in early detection of children who are not growing typically, isn't it? So it's in our bread and butter as a pediatrician, early detection, early detection, early detection. Mm-hmm. And now we are talking about early detection of cancer and so on. Everything, you detect the problem early. Results will be very good.
Wow.
So I know you have a clinic in Harley Street, and I think you have another clinic as well. Just tell us a little bit about your life these days.
Okay. I qualified in 1970 with honors from Moscow. I came to UK straight from Moscow too, and eventually trained in various aspects of medicine. I did infectious diseases, I did chest medicine, I even did 6 months of psychiatry, surgery, pediatric surgery, cardiac surgery at Great Ormond Street, and eventually got all the exams to climb up the ladder, as it were. Eventually ended up in Great Ormond Street and got the pediatric neurology registrar post. And I got very involved in pediatric neurology. In that time, I realized early detection of learning difficulties is part of pediatric neurology, neurodevelopment. So I became a neurodevelopmental specialist. I wrote a book a long time ago on child development. Now I have done another one. And now I'm really have a nice chart which says to parents, look, your child should do these things at these ages. At 1 year, you should expect your child to do these things. At 18 months, you must expect your child to do these things. At 2 years, expect this. And if the child is not doing, find out why it is. Don't expect anyone other than for you to check it, what's going on. Of course, get professional help. Until you are satisfied your child is doing well, don't give up, because it's your child. You can find. So it's called achievement, observation of achievement chart. I have observation of achievement. You observe at birthday time how your child is doing and compare it with a chart.
And you have your own clinics now, just say where they are?
So I've been at a Medical Express clinic for 20 years, and now I have set up a collective medical intelligence clinic. Collective medical intelligence clinic is where people can come with any medical problem. I'll take detailed history, 1 hour usually, from childhood, from everything. What happened in pregnancy. If I want to know more, I'll phone the mother or whatever, and even talk to the brothers and sisters and find out how it all went. Then, with the person's permission, I'll get the GP's notes, go through that to see what the person said and what has happened. If they have seen any consultant, give the permission, I see the consultant's notes. Now I have a collective really view, and then I'll get, for this I must get so-and-so, say, care of the elderly to join me. Is that okay? So you get a care of the elderly gentleman. Say that's a heart problem. I'll get a heart specialist to see. Now we will all put all our information together in one detailed report. That's collective medical intelligence. Collective medical intelligence. Why is that? Because what happens is, I observe people come to Harley Street and tell you, Professor, I worked so hard. This is my gold card. I don't want to die. Do whatever you can. So we say, okay. We have to find out everything you have, find out what we can do to improve. Say, vitamin D is low, we can do. Vitamin B6 is not right. Oh, this is not right. So we need to find out why that is not right. And so you become a detective. I was telling a student yesterday while I was doing something, you saw all I did was detective work, but we have got the diagnosis right.
Amazing.
So finally, unfortunately, time has caught up with us as always. How can people get in contact with you?
Very easy, actually. I'm in LinkedIn, for example, is a good way of getting me.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you so much.
We look forward to you coming back.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
we can follow your update, because it's exciting times.
And sometime soon we want to hear on your views on how to stay over 100, but I think that's for another time.
Very good.
Can you imagine?
Thank you so much for your time.
I really enjoyed meeting both of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, what another fabulous show. I mean, we've learned so many things today. We've learned about history.
It's been so insightful.
And the City of London.
Yeah, City of London.
And what goes on there. We've learned from this incredible professor.
Yeah, the breast cancer treatment, revelation.
On how breast cancer treatment can be really eradicated.
And how AIs can be such a force for good.
And we've shown some really good examples of London and of Cliveden, which is this historic, and it's just as much scandal as it's got anything else at Cliveden.
And also, I know there was a book, Queen Camilla was there last week, on one of her book launches as well, so it is used a lot, isn't it? And it's an absolutely stunning place, and we have worked there.
We have indeed, we've worked there as well.
And obviously Shahad's sterling words, I mean, it's
incredible.
And let's not forget,
it's incredible.
National Dessert Day.
So, as always, I think we've had another great show. I hope you've enjoyed it. So, for me, Ian Penham-Turner, do you have some last thoughts, Helena?
Just I don't have last thoughts. I just think it's just been a fabulous show. I've really enjoyed. I love learning. It's great, isn't it, when our guests can pass on their wonderful things that they've been training for most of their lives. So really insightful. Had a lovely day, a lovely time, and also the Royal News. I think there's been lots of positive things that we've discussed. So until next time.
That's from Helena Chard and myself, Ian Penham-Turner. Have a great week. We'll see you next week, and we've got more incredible guests. Stay tuned.